this works. Yeah. So basically I don't really have any way to start this. I don't really have any way to finish it, but it's just something I've wanted to put out there for a really long time, that I feel like I'm finally starting to get over my anxiety, which has been something I have dealt with for a really, really long time. And I don't really talk about it a lot because it's really just my little thing that I keep inside. But I have a lot of anxiety. I don't really need that to be like a coming out sort of thing, like a big story that everybody needs to be like shocked by that I have. It's just something I've always had. And it's quite, I figure, like kind of evident that I have it, and I don't really need to bother talking too much about it because it's just something that's a part of my day-to-day life. I've had it for as long as I remember. But the reason I want to put this into some kind of a video thing so that it can be broadcast out to other people is because I'm finally starting to step out of it, which is so surreal that I never thought would it ever happen to me. Like, I just thought that I was in this curse for the rest of my life and that, like, I would never figure it out, I guess, because it seemed like such a complicated puzzle and, like, this and that. Like, I was just never going to figure out anxiety. And I've now kind of figured out a lot about it that makes sense for me and what I'm going through. So I'm putting it out there because I feel like anxiety is so complicated, and any mental health thing is like so complicated, and this is just new news for me, and I just feel really like excited and happy about it. So I just want to like throw it out to everyone that I started to learn about myself, that I just don't really have any boundaries to other things, other people, other emotions, other states of feeling and being. So I kind of describe myself as something that is floaty, like very spongy. I can take on a lot of what other people feel, and then I get stuck in it. And there's just a lot of old feelings that I continually feel all the time. Like feelings of nostalgia, feelings of like returning to the past, and that continuous feeling of like keep going back, keep going back, keep going back. And that's from a time where I didn't have the boundaries around my center, and how important it is to like have a center, have a part of you that is untouchable, higher being, higher self feeling, amazing feeling sort of situation. That I have old things stuck to that. I have old sticky feelings that just are on me that I can't really seem to put out, and that I can't really seem to punch away or anything like that. So I'm still learning how to get that old stuff out of the inner part of me that just needs to be me. So when I would go off and feel what other people are feeling and feel these odd sensations and whatnot, like I would just kind of step out of myself and not know how to step back in. There was no procedure or like code of conduct of how I could relate to other people and then be able to come back into myself. There was no like central part of me for a really long time that I'm only starting to feel now, and I feel like I'm only starting to learn it because of all the chances I've taken in the last year or so, and like still the consistent feeling of like feeling like I'm bored and that I'm like, oh god, I'm just living like normal life and da-da-da-da-da, and struggle, as everyone does, especially when you're in your 20s. You don't really know what you're doing. Don't really know like what your career is and like what it's supposed to be and like where you're supposed to fit into a lot of things. But for now, I at least feel like I'm making something grounded and a center within myself, and I don't really like putting out full throttle emotional video things and whatnot, but I'm now creating a space for myself where I can just make the sensations into something else, like a story, a video, a collage and effort, it needs to go somewhere. So that's what I'm doing now, and that they're not going to be frequent, they're not going to be often, but I'm going to put it out there. The space is out there, and so I'm putting this out first to organize myself and to also like show to other people this is the experience of like what I go through that I don't talk about because I don't really put myself out there to people in any creative venture, things like that, that is really important to me in the first place. Like, I've done theater and I've done all these other bits, but I feel like I only give out 10% of what I actually am working on at home or what I'm actually doing in my head. And so that's just going to be pumped out there, I think, from now on. And I want to be held accountable for it. And I want to put my emotions out there and things like that, even though you're consistently seeing the emotional state of the people of Earth. Like, I don't really know how else to put it, but like, we're consistently now having this information available. So I felt like I was going to be a cop-out if I put myself into that pot of how we're all consistently sharing emotion. But it's just because we now have the platform to do it, and so I don't really know why I feel so much rejection and resistance towards putting myself into the pot of like sharing that. And so I'm just tired of feeling like it's gonna get judged, or like it's gonna be a cop-out to myself, or like I'm not gonna be genuine if I'm not being honest and putting it out there for other people, because I don't really put it out there. And so yeah, I wanted to make this really quick thing just so I could be like, get it out on paper, get it out somewhere, do it, and force myself to edit it and just upload it somewhere. Because I want to start doing diary-esque things. I want to keep recording this thing, and I find that I've been learning best by reflecting back on things I've done, on my experience. I don't really care if anyone from my job or my friend circle or my family sees this and they're gonna be like, what? Why are you doing this? Yeah. I do have some stuff that I've been doing, like a couple diary entries, and I've been trying so hard, working my ass off to get these uploaded, and I cannot have the technology that seems to work to do any of this correctly. So I've just decided to say fuck it, go on my phone, record something quickly, and just plant it, because I'm so tired of like trying to chip away at a computer that doesn't work, trying to upload from a phone that doesn't work, trying to use a camera that doesn't work, like all these things that I just don't seem to have. So I just really want to do it and just have it available, and also share the experience so that other people can connect in ways that they feel like they're alone. And I know that I have a lot of really amazing friends out there who might need the message, might not need the message, if I could speak, who might need the message, who might not need the message, who I think deserve some connection, deserve some outreach, deserve some sharing from somebody they're close to, in my opinion. So I just want to share to people what is actually happening, since I'm so far away from everyone who I've kind of grown up with and have had a lot of really important moments with. So yeah, I just don't think there's going to be anything so direct again that I'm going to make. And this is the start of the story. This is the start of the beginning of a place that's just going to be a comfort zone, just a familiar place, and I hope that some other people can find some familiarity out of it too. And yeah.